Hi, I'm Tracy Chernault. Welcome to Petersburg National Battlefield. Today we're along the tour road here on the eastern front of the battlefield, and I'd like to explain to you a little bit about the role of natural resources and how the armies would use them when they were here in 1864 and 1865. When they arrive, the first thing the armies are going to be doing would be coming into an agricultural area, but adapting it for the military's use. And one of the things they would do would be to build these field fortifications. And so the dirt from these fields would be changed and altered to serve the needs of the army. Engineers would lay out fortifications, and the men would go to work in digging up these mounds of dirt. But in order to hold them in place, they needed log walls. And so, much like this woodland that appears behind us today, when the armies get here, they would have chopped down these trees. And they would have seen numerous uses, one of which would be the log walls called revetments that you see here behind me, lining along these earthen fortifications. Those logs are going to be there to hold in place the dirt to keep it from eroding away and to give the dimensions for the interior of these fortifications that the engineers wanted. And of course, as time goes on, each meal that every soldier cooks here is going to be over an open fire. And so more and more of the woods would be used for providing firewood for men in their camps. And then there would be obstructions that would be directed to be built to help the fortifications. You would have things much like these gabion baskets, using vines and smaller pieces of wood in order to weave a basket that could be filled with dirt to be used in the fortifications. Also, here to my left behind me, you can see an example of fray, another wooden obstruction that would be used around the fortifications to impede your enemy from being able to gain access into the fort. And as the summer of 1864 turns into the winter, you're then going to have the armies transition from living in tents to building wooden cabins like the one here to my left. And these cabins are going to dot the landscape. Again, many built of logs. You're going to have to go at this point a great distance to find the logs to be able to build these. And they're going to have fireplaces inside, which again is going to take firewood. As we examine photographs that were taken here in 1864 and 1865, the landscape begins to appear almost moon-like because of all the trees that are taken off of the landscape and literally changing this area from where it had been to the Army's use. It's going to be years before this landscape recovers and is now looking much like it would have before the armies arrived here in some places.